Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So. All right, they don't have to retype it. Just give it a point.
All in favor of the minutes of September 15, 2022? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Any additions, corrections? So moved. Okay, audience of citizens.
Ken and Marianne.
Ken or Mary Ann, do you wish to speak in the audience? No?
Can they hear? I'm saying.
Rob, can you hear us?
There.
Yes?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So that's Ken.
okay. No audience. Okay, we'll move on to old business.
Are you sure they understand what you've asked?
Yeah, he just unmuted. Why don't you try it again? Ken and
Maybe explain to Ken this is a chance to speak. If he
Okay.
wants to speak on something.
We'll go back to the audience of citizens. This is your
Hey.
chance to speak.
I have no microphone.
Hey, Ann,
Yeah,
Mary Ann just sent a note in the chat that says she has no microphone.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Thanks, Paul.
Yep.
okay. Anybody else wish to speak? Okay. All right, old business. Anita Fabraham Conservation. Do we have any news on that?
What was the question?
Anita Fabraham.
And what are you waiting for?
We were going to do some sort of a bench or a memorial.
Rob has given me a proposal for surveying, so we know exactly where something to honor Anita Fay on that property could be placed. And
This is the swamp.
right, and I'm going to ask Chris Ram and David Ram if they have some funds that they have put aside that could possibly pay for that. So that's my next step, Rob.
Okay.
Let me make a note to do that. I need to call.
And was that just for one specific spot or for the, not the whole property?
Rob, was that the side near the cul-de-sac as opposed to the side behind the senior center?
Those are the two options, yes. The proposal I gave was for the one on the cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac. But the senior center one, we're not that concerned because where we would probably put something butts up to our land anyway.
Yeah, we could probably do that without much work. There's a map available on that property, so I think we'd be
Okay.
okay.
Okay,
Okay,
so we'll wait here on that. Okay, okay, Minbrook Preserve, that includes the Ram property on Wellswood Road that we recently acquired over the Ender Robinson and Little Schoolhouse lot. How are we coming with amending the conservation restrictions?
well, part of that, I still want to frickin' Rob, do you know if the Friends of Mono Pond are any closer to actually communicating with the state to partner up to create a management plan?
We're now officially group. I don't know. They're not on the agenda for our next meeting, so I'm not sure where we're at with that.
State,
Not that
The
I've
state.
heard.
right? So I haven't heard of any where it's really firing back up, that we're going to make a true management plan jointly sharing the management of that entire state park.
Okay,
But
so
I think- I think
the
that's-
holdup.
Right, but I think that's where we need to get their input for what constraints you want to put on our private land that we own, because it's still not part of the park.
Right.
Right,
But I don't want to do something that then the state won't take the land because we've done something
Stupid.
that they wouldn't allow on their
Yeah.
state park.
okay, gotcha.
So it's kind of like getting everybody into one room and say, all right, were we going to allow camping? Are we
Like-
allowing bow
like we
hunting? Because
did
bow hunting's allowed on the whole state
5
park.
years ago.
Right.
Yeah,
We should probably allow it on that land.
okay,
Well, can you bring that to Tom and your committee's attention, your board's attention at the next meeting, Bob?
Yes, I could do that.
okay. And would you try once more to reach out to the state to try to set up some kind of a meeting
Okay.
like that? Because they may not be listening to the Friends group at the high enough levels.
Okay. And maybe Honor and I could chat as to who she thinks is the next person to take over that role.
Yeah.
They lost all of our
Ho-
contacts, which
Holly.
were making things
We
happen,
were
Holly
we were
was
this close with Holly. before
driving everything,
COVID.
and now
Yeah,
she's gone.
it was- Okay,
Who, I'll need to know who's the next Holly.
yes. Okay, and um, safety in ATVs, there's still a problem out there. And we have not put, well, we put signage up, but
How
no,
about if we combine bow hunting and ATV?
Well, ATVs isn't going to be allowed under any cases, so.
They're never going to be allowed in the state park.
yeah.
Just let the,
I don't know. We talked about gates and things like that,
Okay,
and that is not on DPW's list.
right.
Okay. So we're just holding in limbo. for that. Okay. I've got this. I have this.
Yeah, we could have a general discussion on it if you like.
Okay,
That's why everybody's here.
Pine Street Park.
I think that's why Melissa just came on. That's why Ken's on. I don't know who Mary Ann is.
Okay. Pine Street parking. What's the update on that?
All right, so Rob has done a survey and pinned exactly where this parcel the town owns.
Yep,
So we know those pins, and our attorney has done a whole deed background check on Old Kinney Road, so we have that all documented. And the Board of Selectmen are walking the property. 2 have walked it, 3 still need to walk it. And then we would like to sit down with both Ken and Melissa and have a discussion on how the town can access the state park through the back of our property down Old Kinney Road. So that'll be a later discussion. And Ken, you and Melissa, are you the owner of the horse park on the other side?
Yes, I am.
So we'd love to sit down and get you together with the Board of Selectmen and have a discussion on how to make this Old Kinney Road access a walking trail to the state park. Or it could be a horse trail, could be. We don't want it to be an ATV trail.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I'm sure you're aware that mine and Ken's property abut each other and there is no technical access through that property. And my concern as the farm owner, you know, I don't I don't particularly want people walking back and forth through my property to scare my horses, because then that becomes a liability to my business.
Okay. So what you'll have to do is, we want to walk it and clearly with Rob Hellstrom, who's pinned it, show us exactly where Old Kinney Road is, which is still a town road. It's just,
It was closed years ago, and I have documentation on that mine and Ken's property, the property was closed years ago. And Rob Hellstrom is actually the one that also did my land survey. And he, in the survey, put that mine and Kenny's property it's closed and it abuts each other. So the property line, there's no Old Kinney Road anymore. If you look back in your documentation, you will see the date that it was closed.
okay, and we have that it was discontinued in maintenance, but not abandoned. Abandoned, the property would have gone on each side to both Ken and you.
It did.
Okay, so,
But it wasn't abandoned.
so that's the dilemma we have. The town meeting, which is the only means to control the deed, was only closed that we were no longer going to maintain the road, which is a lot different than abandoning a road. So,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. In the property survey that Rob Hellstrom did for me, it clearly states on my documentation that I gained 4.4 acres of land, and it states how many acres of land that Kenny gained, and it does show the property line connected.
I don't think that's true, but I'll double check.
okay. So we'll check that, Melissa and Ken.
It doesn't matter. If that's what I said, I was wrong. Let's put it that way. I don't think I said that.
Okay,
I'm the town attorney has done additional research since I did that at a much more deeper level. So I'd have to take what the attorney said at this point. If that's the documentation I've seen from the town's attorney, but I don't remember, Melissa, honestly. I'd have to look back on that map. It's been a while.
Yep.
But Melissa, you could certainly post your property.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I was just saying that you could post, you could put signage on your property, along the trail that it's.
Right, but if my property technically abuts Kenny's, then there's no trail there. It's our property line together.
It'll have to get resolved.
right. So what has to be resolved, either with a solution between all of us or through the courts, is the 33 feet of Old Kinney Road, where the actual property lines are. That's the debate.
Is that still in process of being resolved?
Well, the process is, the next step is either we come together and come up with a solution that works and we all win, or we have to go to court for a solution. So that's really the only way to do it. We all come up with an agreement on how we can get back to the state forest through what we think is still an Old Kinney Road, which is still owned by the town, just not maintained. So that's the debate.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You want to set up a meeting with them or no, the selectmen have to.
Selectmen want to walk the property themselves, and then Melissa and Ken will reach out to you and set up a meeting if you'd like.
Obviously, yes.
Okay, great. And Melissa, can you give me the best way to reach you? Is it by email or phone?
My cell phone is 860-659-7709. And my email is mlussen, like my name, like MLUSSEN 0762@charter.net.
Melissa, would you spell your last name again for me, please?
Yep, so it's M like my first name, Melissa, and then it's L like Lusson, LUSSEN.
Thank you.
And
Yep.
that was 0762.
Yes, 0762@charter.net.
All right, and Ken, what's the best way to get a hold of you? or pop it in the chat if you want, Ken. All right. We'll figure out, I'll figure out how to get a hold of Ken.
Yeah, he's written something.
Oh, good. Thank you, Ken. All right, we have Ken's information. Perfect.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else on Pine Street? We're good. Anybody else?
I do know Mary Ann's property in the back also abuts that trail that you're talking about.
Oh, so is that MI is Mary Ann?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. So Mary Ann just gave me her phone number. Mary Ann, 860-465-7904. Okay, and let me just get Ken. Oh, Ken has no mic. And where did Ken's phone number go? No mic. That's Mary Ann. Here's Ken. I got Ken. 508-3089. Ken, RACZ@hotmail.com. Okay, good. I'm all set.
Okay, and what was Mary Ann's last name?
Mary Ann, can you spell your last name on the chat?
She has no mic.
Or
Oh, she can do chat.
ORLOWSKI.
What is it?
I can't read.
ORLOWSKI.
Thank you.
Perfect. ORLOWSKI.
Or less.
Okay. Great. Thanks all. I'll be in touch. And Mark Walter is my name, the town administrator, and it's the town phone number of 860-228-0110. Or email townadministrator@columbiact.org. And I'll put that up on the chat if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay. Moving along, Hop River Trail Alliance. I've not heard a single word. I did have a conversation with Wyndham's town engineer about that, and he had not heard anything either. So I think that's sort of, they're getting organized. I assume that they will contact us when they have their act together. Okay, so so the Hop River Open Space is now called the Hop River Preserve. And the management plan is on hold because we are applying for the State Historic Preservation Office, State Historic Preservation designation for this property. It's where the Hop River Mills are. We have the natural resource inventory, have the management plan started, but we're waiting for the SHPO designation, and the Board of Selectmen has appointed a committee to oversee the SHPO designation, the archaeology, the development of a parking lot there, things like that. The committee so far consists of Joan Hill, Chris Lent, and Brendan McLean. And this committee has not yet met. So I don't have much to report. However, if you go look at that property, a great deal has been done down there by one person particularly, with some help from DPW and Tom Graff and a few other people. And before, it was this ocean of barberry, and you couldn't see anything. And now Joan has cleared almost everything, and you can see a great deal of the historic ruins there. And so more to follow on that.
Machete Joan.
Yes. She's at least 75 years old, and she's out there every day with her chainsaw and her machete and her lawnmower. Amazing. Kudos to her. Okay. Anything else on Hop River Preserve?
No, we did put up a gate so no one can access it. They can park right in front of the gate, but they can't drive in there.
Good.
So, and there's the next step. We have to have the Public Works Director give us a proposal for moving that road and building a culvert. And we're really going to look for a grant to do that too.
Okay.
So
Very good.
problem is we don't have any data on flooding of that area. And I know it floods up to, from pictures Joan showed, it floods up to that culvert. So you'd have to build it to survive a flood.
Yep.
That's not easy, because where it is right now, the existing road, which is over the mill, is high enough to survive it, but not where the new road would be built, which is down in the sluiceway. So I don't know how much fill would have to be brought in and how big to make the culvert.
So cost, we're not far enough to have a cost estimate on what that would be.
No, because you really have to have it engineered, or we just kind of wing it and build it, because it's not it's not a used road other than once in a while a vehicle will go down in there to do maintenance. You know, we're not, and the property owner, to get to his other property, we can't deny him access. So he might want to drive a car back there. So it has to be built pretty good, but not highway good.
But we're not obligated to
We're
build it.
we're
for
obligated to allow
the
him
pro-
access. So right now, the
Yes.
only true access is over the old mill, which Joan,
Be that car, didn't have to be that vehicle, could it?
I don't know if the access states vehicle. We just can't deny him access.
Yeah, I think when you remember, Chris, when we were out there and the engineer was out there, I don't think he said anything about that. I think it was just access, you know, like walking, or driving a lawn tractor or something.
So I
Where's
don't,
the culvert? I'm not sure where the culvert is.
Well, it doesn't exist. There's a sluiceway with a stone arch.
Yeah.
The sluiceway is not active anymore.
Yeah.
It only fills up during flooding.
Mhm. All right, so you're talking about building a road over that,
To the right of the
to
sluiceway,
the right.
south of it.
South of it, so you can drive down on that side and cross over.
Right, instead of driving on the north side of the sluiceway,
Okay.
which is the easy way to do it, is already a road.
Yeah.
But the historical preservation are trying to keep vehicles from driving over the old foundation.
Right, gotcha, okay, I see that.
Yeah.
And it has to be a culvert because water can flow through
Right.
that still.
Right,
Yeah.
if we don't, then we're
Right.
creating,
Water than now.
sometimes there is,
I
Well, a
would,
lot of the water there is back from the river rather than coming out from underground.
correct.
Yeah.
although Joan is uncovering things and it might come through.
Right, we might do her work, actually open up the sluice way. We're not sure.
Tunnel in there.
I don't underestimate Joan at all. She's probably excavated. Well, she cut down 6 public work dump truck loads of brush herself. 6.
All by herself. I didn't know.
So when Public Works got out there and saw the giant pile of brush, they were shocked. She is a
That's one
amazing.
little old lady. What she has discovered is in the sluice way. This is downstream from the arch.
Yeah,
It's all beautifully stone.
well, it's so
lined.
long, but down there, it's really pretty, yeah.
Yeah, the sluice way is lined. It's just been filled with dumping
Yeah.
junk over the years.
Yeah.
And so her next project is to get in there with a shovel.
She's gonna take that big pile of brick.
We're not sure.
Yeah, because her last statement to me was, well, DPW could come in here and dig this out, but they might hurt the stonework. So she said, I might just dig. So I said,
Why
"Go
why
for
don't
it."
she just supervise it? Get Public Works down there.
No.
Those big boys. There were people there helping the sample dig when Kathy and I went down there the other day. She had it all mapped out and then a couple of people working with her.
Yeah, she's got her sifter and everything.
Sifting the soil.
And she-
Absolutely.
When she sifts, she moves the soil to potholes in our camping area, future campground, and fills those in.
And she has a grad student from Central. What is
Right.
his name?
I
Josh?
forget.
Josh?
You had that in the, it's in the.
Oh, Brandon was the guy, I thought was the student, but he was good.
No,
Brandon's a different.
no. This is another one who is working with the Office of State Historic Preservation. And he is going to lead the charge on the application for the State Historic Preservation designation. He's doing all that paperwork, and I think he's out there with her. She may have given him a shovel or flowers or something. So he's been working with her. Okay. Now,
And Honor's not on board. Did you hear from her?
no, I did not. I did send her a Zoom link, but I have not heard from her. So Salmon River Watershed Partnership, anything
We had a meeting last night.
to tell?
They're every 2 months, they meet.
How are the salmon?
Well, there's no data presented. And this is a very loose organization, at least it is at this point. There's Pat Young, does all this work. You know, it's 1 day a week, I guess. She's associated with the 8 Mile River and the Salmon River. She ties that in.
Mhm.
And they've supervised some interns over the summer. They collect data from several tributaries into the salmon, temperature studies, salinity or conductivity tests. There's a lot of salt, by the way, at least in the Hebron
Really?
tributaries.
In the water?
Yeah. Look for alternatives. Public Works, Hebron is going to try to find something else.
What is the source of
They
this
think it's road salt.
road
Because
salt?
they've gone to salt now from
Okay.
sand.
Yeah.
They are planning a tour, and that's what's important. These people are, like I say, far flung. East Haddam,
Marlboro,
Marlboro, and Hebron, of course.
Colchester.
Colchester was not there last night, but yeah, they're on board. But way down there, they don't even know what's going on, for example, in Hebron and certainly Columbia. So Pat wants to have a couple of outings, which I'm always in favor of.
Yes,
As far as I understand, it's for this group, it's to introduce them to what's out there, what's being done. So Sunday, the 30th, we're gonna do a couple of things. In fact, I would like some advice, obviously parking in our place, everybody's interested in Wellswoods. They call it Wellwood, but I corrected that. But no one's been here except Pat with you. She said she
yes,
tried to tour it with you. So we're looking for a place with parking, so I thought it has to be the Airline Trail. Either on Leonard Bridge or 207. Just to introduce them to, it's not Columbia, but we can't get to Midbrook, without parking, right? With a group of about 10.
Unless you put them in the parking lot by the dam and carpool over there. Left a couple, I mean, you can leave a couple of cars on the road, it's not.
that Midbrook though is a couple miles from the parking lot.
No, I mean, carpool back up Wellswood. If that was feasible.
Well, the only way I can see it being, and I don't know what this group is like, they're my age, they're oldsters, but they look active. And I don't know what they're interested in, but I would love to take them on that property that we don't own, Silverstein.
That's the key, since there's no one else but our committee. The Silverstein property would solve all the parking issues in the Wells
Oh,
Woods.
of course.
Because you could go down the Wells Road and bank a right, correct, Rob?
Yep.
And then park on the
Yeah.
Silverstein property.
But much more immediate, our mark is on Sunday, the 30th.
Yes.
If I could take them
And-
over to Lynn Brook to see the swamp,
Right,
that would be a great introduction to what we're talking about. As far as the tributary into Raymond Brook and
right.
the Salmon River.
The best parking, you'd have to trespass, it would be on Shakes. That
From
would
the
take,
other direction, from Hebron.
Yeah, you can't do that.
but you can't do that. So,
So they were, I mean, this
Yeah.
is so loose that don't worry about it for now, but I mean, that's down the road, we've got to start publicizing what we have.
yes,
Um,
okay. If you go down Wellswoods Road and turn left into
Island Woods.
Island Woods, there's what was, when they first built it, they built a cul-de-sac and they built the first. So there's kind of a little spot there where you can park a few
Few
cars
cars.
and walk back. But the best place to take them in to see what's part of the Salmon River watershed, Midbrook, is down Wellswood. Enter there by the root zone,
Walking.
Yes, that's what,
walking.
yes.
That's what he wants to do, but where do you park the car?
Yeah,
Yeah,
But-
so
but-
fast forward, that's exactly where, I mean, if we were gonna go there,
but you can park a
but
few
I need to go,
cars
I
there.
need to be on Silverstein's property.
Well, you can park two cars at the end of Wells
Forget the
Woods.
parking for the moment. I want to trespass on Silverstein to get to,
You mean walking?
yeah.
I don't think walking's a problem. It's
Okay,
just
and instead of
vehicles.
going across Silverstein, just walk to the bottom of the
know,
hill.
so take a
go
right.
It was so much easier to go.
Well,
We did it on that walk day,
I don't see it as a huge issue to veer right a little sooner than getting to the bottom of Wellswood Road. But you make that call.
yeah, that's what I'd have to do.
Yes. But parking, turning to Island Woods, Wellswood,
Yeah.
and
Just
a
park.
couple of houses down,
There's an old cul-de-sac
Well,
that
I
never got
know it
built.
well, I park there
Okay.
all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's no question about
Yeah.
what you could do. It's a matter to me, a matter of how many cars are gonna be there.
Right. You don't want to block the fire pipe,
Right.
but you could put a car in front of the root cellar. Margaret doesn't mind.
You can get 3 cars.
3 cars
Yeah.
along
You
the
can
edge.
park.
Well, I'm gonna call Pat and,
Yeah.
and email her, and try to figure out the best plan, but that would be fun to get some publicity out there.
Mhm.
And at the very least, the Lebanon section of the airline, where Wellswood basically comes down, you know, the new park, bike trails and stuff,
Yep.
they could show that.
And you could park on 207, but that narrow and trail, but that's a longer hike. If you park at the root cellar, it's a mile.
Well, yeah, I wasn't gonna go all the way up. I wasn't gonna go all the way up to the slope at that point. It would just be. And they have maps to show them and stuff, so.
Yeah.
I'll get more information on what kind of a group it is, what their hiking level, what their interest is in hiking, how much time we have, and that kind of thing.
Okay, good.
But that's it. I mean, they don't, there's no more planning.
Okay. That's actually exciting that they want to mount this spot. Yeah,
Well, I give her credit. She's aware of us. She's aware of Columbia.
Whenever.
Whenever-
We're gonna cut that water off.
when we used to do our annual farmers market around here, all kinds of, she would always come and table. Oh, yeah. She'd
She had a
be right,
table of information.
yeah, and she'd be right next to me with Josh Strauss and open space.
Who are we talking about?
Pat Young.
Oh, yeah, I know Pat. I've worked with her a
Okay.
lot.
No honor roll.
No, we have no honor Lawler. I have no update from her. And all I have to say about the Cobb Farm purchase of development rights is that the Department of the NRCS and DOAC, Department of Agriculture, have gone silent. I hope that means that they're working on it, but I've sent out little pings and I get nothing back. And that's very typical with the state,
Yes,
isn't it?
it's very frustrating.
And the Fed. And Kristen has not received an offer. So they're very busy, I guess. So nothing on that. Okay. Any
Just-
other? Oh,
Dan, yeah,
Yeah.
just an update. We're pretty active in doing farmland surveys and stuff, and we haven't heard anything for quite some time. So I think that whole process is on hold or something right now. And for a while, they were doing the farm survey every couple of months, and we haven't done one in, haven't started one in at least 6 months, so. Maybe something.
Do let me know if they contact you.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay. New business. Monopond Phenology.
So we are getting a proposal on that. So we've requested one officially through LMAC and it's being written right now. So I think the challenge will be when it's done, funding it and getting it through the Board of Selectmen, because the response I've already gotten is that's not our pond, that's the state's pond.
Who said that? Oh,
I don't know.
who said that. Never mind.
But so that's your challenge. And you know, if and that's where the management plan becomes critical. If it's truly a partnership, well, what can the state do to help us? You know,
Exactly. But try and call the state up.
I know. But I will have a proposal and we'll know exactly what it costs. And what it'll accomplish. Because basically we need a plant survey and then,
There's a lot There's just a ton. I went out 2 months ago, went all the way to the back, and everything from my house all the way to the back, it's just all milk.
Did it fill back up again now that wear boards are back?
It's just a couple of inches below
Okay.
the top. So it's real close to going over, real close, but fortunately, we've had enough rain that it did do that. It never, I don't think it ever really harmed, it was enough to really harm.
Okay.
It was close, boy, it was close.
Did we
So
ever ascertain?
Yeah,
How
it was not the state that did it. So it was vandalism
Somebody pulled the boards.
on Montauk
the
Pond.
rear board?
We lost like 2 feet of water.
Hmm.
But the state put them back.
Did they padlock them? in
Well, I haven't
place?
looked at whether they ever put any brackets.
I don't know. It needs a padlock.
Yeah.
You look at,
I haven't seen any locks and brackets or anything.
they really need to do that, because, I mean, there's nothing to pull on them up.
Right.
I mean, they're
That's what we
they're in
found out.
slots.
At least they didn't throw them away. They were
Yeah,
laid nicely on each side.
maybe somebody, you know,
That would be more work, you know, they didn't want to put the effort in.
There was probably somebody downstream,
Well, that's
water,
what- that's-
water in the brook.
that's what I thought, their well was going dry, and they said, oh, if I open the pond, it'll fill my well up.
Okay, Camp Astawama, right of first refusal.
Yeah, I have another call into Kathy and I haven't heard back from her. But she, hold on. It is, who am I calling? Camp Astawama contacting, oh, no, it's Nancy McLean who I'm calling. So Nancy told me last time I talked to her that she was going to put it on the board of directors discussion, and then we're still trying to hook up.
What was Nancy's name?
Oh, Nancy's last name is MC, then capital LANE.
No, it's MAC,
Okay, hold on.
MAC,
Oh, MAC.
MAC.
LEAN.
Oh, see, that's why I haven't gotten a hold of her. I spelled her name wrong.
And she's of the church executive committee or?
She's the director,
Director of the
Yeah.
Camp
and
Astawama.
she's on
And
the
she's-
camp committee, which is their.
Right, she'll bring it up to the camp committee and trustees of the 70 acres wooded property.
Only 70 acres, that's all?
The major part of the camp is owned by the trustees of Warburton Chapel. Nancy will connect you to them, but I believe the chairman of that committee is Thompson, Alvin Thompson.
Allen, ALLEN,
ALVIN.
ALLEN.
Alvin,
Oh, Alvin, hold on.
Alvin Thompson.
ALVIN.
But is the total property only 70 acres, Sam?
No. Warburton Chapel is probably twice the size.
I have a feeling that 70 acres is the camp,
Oh,
maybe, I don't know.
It's just the camp.
okay.
So
It's more like 400.
what committee,
Yeah, awesome, yeah.
what committee is Alvin Thompson chairman.
Trustees,
of what?
Warburton, WARBURTON. Chapel. It's a very old, dates back 2 centuries in Hartford. It's a
Okay,
civic group that, or church group that feeds the poor and the hungry. Provides camp. They do. Okay. Okay, and moving right along, Joshua's Trust reached out to Nikki and said, we're getting in touch with all the conservation commissions, et cetera, in the participatory towns, which is 14 towns in eastern Connecticut, which includes Columbia, Lebanon, Coventry, Wellington, Ashford, Hampton, Shetland, Scotland, Woodstock, Mansfield, like that. I don't know if I got them all. And so they just sent me an email and they said, who do you know in Columbia who knows about open space and conservation? So I said, duh. I was on your board. And I chaired your stewardship committee. Hello. So I gave them a few paragraphs to tell them what we're doing, which I had already told them many times. And oh, wow, that's great. Then I went in and had a chit chat with their new employee who is in charge of acquisitions. Anyway, the upshot is they said, oh, we're interested in participating in open space conservation. So I said,
How do they define that? Is that man hour laborers or is that dollar contributions?
Show me the money.
yeah,
Yeah,
showing
it's
the
all-
money.
When you
Well-
find out, tell them.
Little late. when we really
Yes,
needed them, they wouldn't
it's
talk to us.
probably all of the above. And
Okay.
actually, I think this is one of those things that, you know how the wheel turns and get new employees and new volunteers.
Networking.
And they're starting up their networking again,
That's fine. That's good.
because Joshua's Trust has participated.
Yeah, they've been very good.
They've kicked in money for development rights and things like that. But since they're expressing some interest again, we might hit them for a contribution or something like that on our next open space, to help defray the cost of a survey or something like that. They also have, Joshua's Trust has an office full of, not full, they have several employees now. And we might hit them for a little technical expertise also. They do not, Rob, your job is secure. They do not have a surveyor.
Interesting.
So much for retirement.
No, but they have grant writers and things like that now. So just keep that
Do they
in
have an
mind.
office someplace now?
Yes,
Where
the
is it?
office is at the Atwood Farm at 624 Wormwood Hill Road in Mansfield.
Is it like a little house or?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a house. It's a whole farm,
What town?
Mansfield.
And it's called, what's the name of it?
Atwood Farm.
ATWOOD?
Yep. Isabel Atwood left her house, her whole farm, all her acreage, and her entire bank account, and her cat to us.
Is the cat still alive?
No.
No chickens?
Oh, I wish. Or a couple of goats. No.
Oh, that's cute. That's real cute.
Yep, she left everything to us. She was an antique dealer and we had a tag sale, made about $1 million on
Oh,
that.
good.
And we turned her house into an office. Okay, I believe we do not need, oh, yes, we do. We do need an executive session.
All right, hold on. 9:51, we're going in executive session and I'll stop recording.
Is everybody off?
Yes.
Okay, we're coming out of executive session, no decisions, no
10:13.
votes at 10:30.
And do we have an emotion to adjourn
I move we adjourn.
with no motions,
Okay.
no action taken?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, see you,
We
Paul.
are adjourned.
Good to see you here.
You guys.
Bye.